Hello, friends, and welcome to We've Got Books. This is Ann Green saying howdy from North Texas, the Lone Star State, where spring paints the meadows with bluebonnets, longhorn cattle chew their cud with contentment, and cowgirls lasso their favorite cowboys. My colleagues Lana Newman-Cruzy, James Yarbrough, and I are happy you joined us.
Hi, I'm Lana Newman-Cruzy.
Hi, I'm James Yarbrough.
We've Got Books features a variety of genres to tickle your imagination. It is our pleasure to feature guest authors and their books, along with our own books. You'll become acquainted with real authors and learn why we write and how we create unforgettable stories. And now, Lana Newman-Cruzy is ready to interview our colleague, Jim Yarbrough, about one of his humorous short stories, Don't Make Me Laugh. Grab your favorite refreshment, sit back, and enjoy this amazing journey into the literary world. Take it away, Lana.
Thank you, Anne. And Jim, welcome back to We've Got Books. We're going to talk about one of your humor short stories today. Tell us about it, Jim.
Thanks, Lana. I'd like to tell listeners about my book, Don't Make Me Laugh, a book of 10 humor short stories. These feature my longtime characters, Christian psychologist Dr. Greg Chambers, and his fresh off the farm, tell it like it is assistant, Carol Kramer. Together with their patients and friends and strangers, these two are responsible for some crazy happenings.
Well, Jim, I know these two characters, and I'm already laughing just hearing their names. 10 short stories, huh? So there are lots of different tales to tell here. Can you give us some details into some of these stories?
I certainly can, and I am glad you asked. You know, Dr. Chambers, Greg, is a fine Christian man trying hard to live right and be a good example. But, like many of us at times, he gets frustrated he can't snap his fingers and change things. He's idealistic, judgmental sometimes too. So a lot of my stories center on Greg trying his best, frequently without thinking or praying about a problem first, to right wrongs or fix his patients or people around him, and all the chaos and unintended hilarious consequences that result from Greg being Greg. That's the case in the first short story I'll read from excerpts from. It's entitled Fine Folks.
So it's a funny story about people doing good things?
Oh, yes, that's correct. And then maybe not so good things, too. The background is Greg and his psychologist friend, Harry Newman, attend an annual fundraiser that their church does to raise money to help hardworking lower-income folks buy houses. And that's a very good thing, right? And in this event, the MC auctions off paintings that are donated by local artists. This fundraiser has become a focus for the whole city of Greenville, so every year it attracts a lot of rich people throughout the community. They're not all church folks, however. Sounds like a very positive and fun evening, doesn't it? Well, it's the first time Greg has attended, and after being there for about 45 minutes, Greg shares this with his friend Harry. It's an excerpt from the book. In just these 45 minutes, I've experienced people insulting my career, failing to apologize for bumping into me and spilling my drink, mistaking me for the parking valet and then insisting I park his Ferrari anyway, and flicking an olive pit off my head for not getting out of her way quick enough at the punch bowl. What's happened to loving your neighbor as yourself? In the commandments race, that one was a close second for Jesus, if I remember correctly, about Matthew chapter 22.
So, Greg is not enjoying himself?
Well, not until he gets into his I'll fix this mode. He devises a plan to combat those rich people at the event who are acting badly. And here's what he decides to do. Another excerpt. It was hard to suppress a smile. Here I was, sitting at the edge of the stage with only a few other serious, seated bidders, disguised as one of the rich people, and no one was the wiser. I'd been able to borrow a fine long overcoat, exquisite black driving gloves, and French beret from the closet when the check girl wasn't looking. And then I crafted a pretty fair mustache over my lip with a dry marker, ditched my glasses, I could see reasonably well without them, and recombed my hair with a part in the middle. So liberating, I could now better understand the thrill of assuming a totally new identity. This was working so well. 5 paintings sold thus far, and with a casual flick of my wrist or raising of one eyebrow, I'd been able to inject bids at just the right time to drive up the final take from what those rich people were intending to pay. I chuckled to myself at liberating extra cash from those fine folks, and all for a great cause. How sweet the revenge.
Well, so he's disguised as one of the rich people doing fake bids to raise the price of the paintings and therefore raising money for the church's charity?
That's it. But he's also getting his revenge by fooling the rich folks and causing them to spend more money being charitable. Uh-oh.
Yes, Greg's motive isn't entirely pure, and the reader might think things don't go well for Greg.
You'd be right. It's guaranteed chaos. But to laugh along at exactly what happens, YHTRTS, you have to read the story.
Ah, okay. Tell us about another one of your short stories in Don't Make Me Laugh.
Another one of the short stories in Don't Make Me Laugh is entitled Troubling. In it, Greg and Carol do some standard listening and counseling of a middle-aged woman who is a first-time patient. Greg and Carol try to learn what's bothering Mrs. Kincaid, but she's elusive. Until this, and here's an excerpt. Mrs. Kincaid deposited her tissue in the nearby wastebasket and snapped open her bulging purse. The shoulder bag tipped over, and several small things fell to the floor, bouncing and sliding across the rug. I rose from my chair to help my patient retrieve her errant possessions. Oh, that's all right, Dr. Chambers. I can get them. Mrs. Kincaid bolted from the couch and settled into a crouching position on the floor with the adroitness of a college wrestler. An interesting variety of items presented themselves on the floor. A tightly wound woman's belt with a large price tag, a gold pen and pencil set in a glass case still wrapped in a clunky anti-theft wire, 4 sets of keys, 5 cell phones, 3 small rubber balls, and 6 of the complimentary ballpoint pens from our practice.
That doesn't look good. What do Greg and Carol conclude about that?
After Mrs. Kincaid leaves, they analyze her. Kleptomania, I said. What? Carol squinted. I leaned against the filing cabinet. You heard me. That's what Mrs. Kincaid suffers from. Greg, you are my boss and everything, but are you out of your mind? That woman is just a plain thief. Do you know what kleptomania is? I crossed my arms. You bet I do. Ricky was plumb positive Lucy was doing that after he found her with a wad of money from the bazaar. And then he discovered her with Fred's cuckoo clock. I shook my head. Ah, yes, the expert knowledge from Hollywood. Then there's my personal experience. Carol nodded. What's that? Fanny Marie, that's what. She's my third cousin, once removed on my daddy's side. A peculiar person for sure. As a little girl, and depending on where you took her, she'd end up with her dress stuffed with spoons, candy, bananas, nails, golf tees. One time, she tagged along to Mrs. Peterson's pet store, and when we got back to the house, we found 2 live hamsters and a dead angelfish in her jeans pockets.
Well, I love these characters. It's great. Oh, hey. So Greg and Carol have different opinions about this patient?
Oh, they sure do. And for my longtime readers, you may be able to guess which of the two, Greg or Carol, has ultimately proved to be right. But after twists, turns, and laughs.
I bet I can guess. Jim, thanks for telling us about your book, Don't Make Me Laugh. I love that title. And reading excerpts from 2 of the short stories. Where can people find your book?
Amazon Books is a good place to find it, and my author name is James Yarbrough, Yarbrough. So search on James Yarbrough, Don't Make Me Laugh in Amazon Books. It's in Kindle, paperback, and audio formats. Another way is to go to my author website, www.jamesYarbroughAuthor.com. Don't Make Me Laugh is featured there along with my other books. And you can sign up for my free newsletter at my website too.
It's Anne Green again. Thank you, Lana and Jim. Once again, our time has flown by, so we must say so long, folks, from deep in the heart of Texas, and hope you've enjoyed your time with us as much as we enjoyed having you. Join us next week when we interview, me, Anne Green, about my World War II novella, A Codebreaker's Christmas Surprise. I'm Anne Green with Lana Newman Cruzy and Jim Yarbrough, saying goodbye for now and read a good book to keep those brain cells active. We hope you'll choose one of our remarkable books from We've Got Books. See you next time. Remember, keep exploring the world through reading.